about clefs. Everybody say clef. Very good. Okay, I have two clefs that are used in almost every instrument in the band. There are more clefs than just these two clefs, but all the instruments that we're going to be using use one of these two clefs. This is called the treble clef. Say treble clef. Again, say this, treble clef. Very good. This right here is called the bass clef. Say bass clef. One more time, say bass clef. Very good. They look quite different. Sometimes this treble clef is also called the G clef. Say G clef. Sometimes the bass clef is also known as the F clef. Say F clef. Good. The treble clef is going to be used exclusively by our higher pitched instruments, such as the flute, clarinet, oboe, bells, all saxophones, bass clarinet, trumpet, and French horn. All of these instruments will use the treble clef because those instruments are higher sounding. Lower instruments or lower pitched instruments will be using the bass clef. Some examples of these are the bassoon, trombone, euphonium, tuba, timpani, and the marimba sometimes when you play in the low range of the marimba. Again, this is called the treble clef, sometimes also known as the G clef. This is the bass clef, also known as sometimes the F clef. I'm going to show you several ways how to draw your clef. The bass clef is pretty easy to draw. Start off with a dot on line number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then make a backwards C. And then add 2 dots above and below the 4th line. You could also say on space 3 or space 4. I'll show you again. First do a dot on line number 4, a backwards C, and then a dot on space 3 and space 4. That's how to draw the bass clef. The treble clef is a little trickier. There's several ways to do this. One way is to draw a line straight down and then draw a little hook right here with a dot. That's the first step. Then backwards C, and then imagine yourself drawing a G like that. That's one way to do it. I'll show you that way again. Draw a line straight down, add a hook at the bottom with a dot, a backwards C, and then like a G. That's one way to do the treble clef. Another way is to start on the second line and then just rotate around like this, like you're drawing a 6, but don't connect this part to this part. And then loop around and then draw your line and your hook with the dot. I'll show you this way one more time. Start on the second line, draw around here like you're drawing a 6, but don't connect. And then you loop around, and then you have your line and your hook. Okay? Those are 2 different ways to draw the treble clef. The best way to learn how to draw these is to look at these and try to either trace it, or you could just look at it and then try to replicate what you're drawing. You could also remember the 2 ways that I showed you how to draw this. Why do we have different clefs? If we didn't have 2 different types of clefs or other types of clefs, we would not be able to distinguish between high, medium, and low notes or pitches on one single staff. Because of this, the clef that you use on your instrument will determine what letter name of the note that we will be playing. That's a basic lesson on the two types of clefs that we will be using in band.